Welcome, one and all. How's everyone doing? Hope everyone is doing great. What a fantastic day we've had today. Well, first of all, I want to say welcome to all the new people coming on from Twitter. Getting a lot of traction from Twitter, but welcome to the Quant Data community. Um, this is Quant Data's Q&A. We run these every Wednesdays and Sundays. 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST for you guys to ask questions and for us to go through some things, right? Today was absolutely an extraordinary day. All-time highs, right? Breaking through SPX 6700. That was quite a feat, right? We've been eyeballing this level for so long, and today we get it. And what a day to get it too, right? Government shutdown, right? uh, the American government shut down, right? And then just on a side note, I just thought it was kind of funny too that we get all-time highs as China starts celebrating their national holiday. Isn't that a little crazy? So, you know, down with the American government, sky high with the China government. I don't know. But yeah, so today was a very interesting day. We had just a smooth uptrend upwards, and today was a great showcase of, keeping your trade setups in your back pocket and recognizing them as they come up. What was the trade that we saw today? What was the trade that we saw today that we absolutely knew, like, okay, this is the scenario that we have, and it's probably going to go in this direction, right? It was called Delta Contraction. Now, this is a trade setup that we don't see very often. So today, having that show up and then having us juice past previous high, get all-time highs again is, I thought it was really cool. I don't know if I'm like a trading nerd or something, but I thought it was really cool. So what did we see? I'll just show you really quick here on net drift. Before we dig into the delta and gamma, which was the clue to let us know that the market was going to fly sky high, a little bit of net drift, right? Early on, we had a little bit of pretty massive spikes downwards. We made a low. We juiced up right from the open, and then we came right back down, and then that was it. And then from here, all the way through to London Power Hour, which is 7:30 a.m. PST on West Coasters, we just continued to fly upwards, right? New high, and then we just didn't look back. And from this point, I can show you exactly why we said that. Okay, there's no lows being made. We're probably gonna go to all-time highs today. I know a lot of you guys caught that trade today, but I want to show you exactly why it was so easy to tell. We're going to zoom this to October 1st, October 1st, October 1st. So this is Delta Contraction. And this was the open. Now, remembering that Delta is our support and resistance. It is generally backwards looking, right? Gamma is our forward looking Greek. We use it for directional targets, right? So I'm going to leave this up here really quick for you guys, just so you guys can see it. Let me zoom into the message there. So just going to read it out again. So Delta is our support and resistance, okay? It is generally backwards looking. Gamma is the Greek that we use for directional targets. So how we can call tops, how we can call bottoms, that's going to be this one here. And this one is the one that tells us, like, okay, where we're trading. Are we bullish or are we bearish, or is it an absolute mess? So this is how we open. So what do we see here generally? We see that where we are, the market wants to go long, but not that much. But it's a little bit bullish right here. You can see that we have like 100 400 million in exposure, but then it's all about this strike right here. So someone's super short at 6,700. Now we said that early in the market open, as soon as we see this contract, as soon as we see people buy this back up to become long, the market's going to squeeze upwards because they have to spend a lot of capital to buy these shorts back, right? Think of it like this. Think of it like this. I always use the reference, but it's like the 300 shield wall. Everyone's watched that movie, and if you didn't, I'm about to ruin it for you. But generally, right, we know that this wall here, right, we know that the market generally wants to go up from here, okay, because based on gamma, right, gamma wants 6,700, but this is super short. So whoever's short here is probably going to get steamrolled. Okay, so this is your 300 shield wall. Cumulatively, generally there's just more longs than there are shorts. So this is what we have to eyeball. This is the only one that's trying to defend price. And as we move forward, I can show you what changes around 7:30 a.m. So just an hour into the market session. Blah, 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 blah. What do we see? What happens? What changed? Okay, so I'm going to make this a little bit easier for you to visualize. This is going to be delta now too. Okay, what do we see? So this on the right is 6 a.m. On the left, I'll make it even easier to see. There we go. There we go. Is this a little bit cleaner to see? So on the left, this is 50 minutes after. And on the right, this was in the morning, 6 a.m. So what happened first? We started seeing all the strikes around 6,700 get really strong. This was 1.8 billion, by the way. And now here, I know the bar looks, it's because it has to shrink to shape, like what's the longest exposure. But we can see here, this is 1.44. If I zoom out, actually, it's a little bit clearer. There you go. So you can see that all the strikes around it, everyone else wants to be long. And they did start buying some of this back, right? 0.4 billion back. So that 400 mil. And as we go on, the profile changes even more. Okay, so we're going to go on further. Let's go to London close. What happens at London close? Where did it go? Where did it go and where's price after at London close? Right, it's gone. They had to buy all of those short deltas back. So this is delta contraction, right? When the market, whoever is short at that strike, when everyone else around them is long, they are almost forced to buy it back because they know that the pressure is on, right? They are probably not going to win their short here. They're going to have to spend they're going to have to spend an immense amount of capital to try to short everything around them so that they can win their side. Why would that person, this is a really good question right here, why would that person be short there when everyone is long? We have to think about it like the dealer and the market makers. It's not just, they're not all just working together, right? That's not true. They all work against each other too, okay? It's a constant battle. It's a push-pull. Even us, me and you, right? When I buy a call, when you sell a call, right? Someone has to lose, and with this, we can see who's the aggressor. So I'm going to show you here on the gamma side what changed as well. So this is how we knew, right? We saw that this was obviously, they were already long gamma here. Delta wasn't. And as we pushed through the day, right? Let's go through here. Let's go to 8:30 on this side. This is gamma now, right? It just gets stronger and stronger. It gets to over 100 million in exposure. And so this is why we knew that 6,700 was definitely going to be tagged. Further than that, I will say that as the MVC continued to move throughout the end of the day, right? This is above 6,700 now. We saw 6,710. It was already a slow crawl with not a lot of time left. This catching even further was a little bit hard, but nonetheless, 6,700 was a very easy and obvious target to get. Now, our job as traders is to look for clues, right? That's all we want to do. We want to look for clues to tell us what is the most likely scenario for price based on what we're seeing at any given time, right? We know the three questions. I constantly say these three questions over and over again, but they're so important, right? So first question, what is the most likely scenario for price based on what we see? So this is your first question. Now, if we have this question and we go here, let's go right back to the open. So this is gamma side and this is delta side. So what do we think? What's your first question here to ask yourself? Now that you have this delta contraction scenario in your trade book. Now, I don't know if you're going to add it to your A plus setups, right? Like I've removed it from mine, but I still keep it in a B plus. Our most likely scenario here is that all these deltas may have a chance to force these guys to buy back their shorts, especially the fact that gamma is already long here. Even Vanna. So if I show you Vanna sided, Vanna was also long 6,700. So all that second order Greek, all the pressure is already there for long. It's just the first order. So there is a chance that we force them to buy this back. Right, so there we go. Answering our first question, we say that there is a possibility that 6,700 SPX gets tagged based on delta contraction. Right, again, them delta contraction, them buying back those shorts. Number two, right? What is is what you see worth the risk? Right now, I always ask myself this, and I gauge it based on 10 points. Do I think SPX is going to move more or less than 10 points? If it's more than 10 points, it's worth my risk, right? So where did we open from? That's 30 points. There is more than 30 points. So yes, it is worth my risk, right? And then number three, how do you want to take on that risk? That's going to be up to everyone, right? Put credit spreads, right? Selling in that direction, long debit spreads, futures. Like there's all these other ways. I'm not going to answer that last one for you, but that's how we traded today. And so if you like this trade setup, like take note of this day and journal it, because I mean it was very obvious. There's days where we have these setups, and then you already know exactly what you want to do. That's what you want to do as a trader. You want to have all these trade setups in your trade book, and then as soon as you recognize it, you're able to put on the trade that best fits that scenario. All right, so that's all I have. I'm going to post this up on YouTube, and congratulations to everyone who was green with me today. And then we're going to move on to Q&A. So yeah, if you like what we do and you want to see how we navigate the market live, we are live every day for free in our Discord server. So join up if you like. If you don't, well, I don't know what you're doing here then. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cut this recording. Thanks, everyone.